Welcome everybody to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us by hitting that subscription button. It's totally free, and also hitting the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads that I come up with. I want to mention that up top there's 3 little buttons right on the corner, on the right hand corner for most of you. For some of you it's in your settings. I do have a link to the video below in the description box to teach you if you're not understanding how I'm explaining to slow down the video. You can click there. It's a 2-minute video. Very simple. It's just a click away. You can slow down the video by clicking the 3 little buttons up top and slow down to the speed you would like. Also, right next to it, there's the letter CC. You can turn that on, and that will be for closed caption. All the stitching, everything that I mention and say will be written down here. You can pause, stop the video, take notes, and it will help you to understand the pattern. I don't write patterns. I get asked a lot about it, and for those reasons, I ask of you to slow down the video. I know sometimes I'm a little bit too fast for these recordings, and I apologize for that. It's just I get on my own bubble. This is all new to me also, so it's just a question of getting practice at recording, which I'm not fully used to yet. I'm getting comfortable at this point. So I want to thank every single one of you that have been from the start with me, have commented, shared, have tagged me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your lovely, wonderful comments. Thank you again so much to every single one of you. Also for the people that came through, the women that came through with donations, and also some donations for the women in need of thread. Thank you so much. Some of you have shipped it yourselves. Gratitude all the way. And some of you have donated into my PayPal account and into the super thanks that's below the video. It has a $ symbol on it. Thank you so much to everyone that has participated in trying to help out one way or another. Okay, so we are going to get started. Any questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment below. You could always get a hold of me if you're stuck with some project, like some of you do, into message me through Instagram. I do have a Facebook group, private group, because there's a lot of scammers and fraud into the crochet groups now, so you have to be careful. Don't open links that say cut or bit on it. Those are fraud scammers. Be careful, people. They steal people's identity and pictures, and they post there with those links pretending that it's them. So stay away from that, or report them as spam. That's what I usually do. For those reasons, my group is private. You're more than welcome to join us in our group. Beautiful group of people we have there. We're one growing family. You can just request, and I'm sure one of the monitors will respond to you ASAP. I also do have the crochet page. You can follow that there too, or my Instagram or TikTok. So there's so many ways you can get a hold of me. My email is below also. So anything that you're stuck with, feel free to ask. Or suggestions, remembering that I am in Europe. My time frame could be different than yours. Sometimes I will have to take a few hours before I answer you because I must be sleeping. It's overnight, and it must be morning for you in your country. Okay, so we're going to get started, everyone, and I bless you, I hug you, and please keep your optimism always up and high, and never think that you cannot do this pattern. We are not born learned. We are born to learn. Okay, you can do all things as long as you persist, be patient with yourself, and just continue on. Anyone can create anything they want. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So today we're going to create this, if you want to call it oval, maybe a little bit oval. I don't know what's the name for it. This was a picture sent to me to have it created. The person wanted to be like for a dresser. So, because I have a little bit of extra yarn everywhere from different colors, so I went along with this color just to give you the example. And we're going to create it on this yellow mustard color so you can see better the stitch. Not that you can't see of this one, but I wouldn't have enough of this gray. It's a gray and pink. I wouldn't have enough of it to complete, so I didn't want it to look too funny once I've started to create it. So I'm going to use this one. I will have enough out of this one. It's about, I think 75 grams, if I'm not mistaken, out of this gray, and of course only about 15 to 20 grams out of the pink, which is only slip stitch all the way around. There's a little bit of details to pay attention to, but nothing complicated, very simple. I'm going to use a 2.75 hook, a small one to tuck in loose ends, of course, and a pair of scissors. And my old scissors, it was so old already, has retired on me, poor thing. So thanks to Barbara Faut that sent me the package of hooks, and this was in it also, so thank you, Barbara. And here I am going to make this my newest scissor to use. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel. I send you all much love and much hugs. We're going to get started. So these are 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal threads. Similar as Aunt Lydia, a little bit thinner. So obviously my pattern becomes a little bit smaller because it is thinner. This is 42 centimeter or 43 centimeters long by 33 centimeters wide. This is perfect for like a small area. This case, the lady is going to create hers for her bedroom night tables, and so it's perfect for that too. Okay, I don't know who the creator of this pattern is. This is a picture sent to me. If I do know the creator or become across who created, designed, then I will list her name below if I get any information on it. So we're going to get started. Thank you so much, everyone. So the first thing you want to do is that magic circle. In case you do have a hard time still with the magic circle, you can do a 6 chain. And I'm going to do 1 chain just to lock that in, pull my string a bit because I don't want it to be out of control of my hands. I'm going to come back in and do a single and 2 chain. My single and 2 chain is my double crochet. I am going to create 3 more, so I'll have a total of 6 double crochets. So I have 4, not 6, I'm sorry. So I'm done 4 double crochets, and chain 3. I have to keep in mind, I have to look at my pattern always and look at it. So, and now I'm going to create 6 double crochets. So chain 3, 6 double crochets. This is gorgeous in any color combo you want to do, or just solid color. 2, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 3 again. Now I'm going to close it up. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to do only 2 more because we're meeting the other 4 double crochets, so we can have our 6 total. So I'm going to come just going to close it up well over here, make sure it's well closed. So on my, not where I have the chain here that we did single 2 chain, but right behind the next one, I'm going to pull my thread to the back and close it up so we can have a nice firm and not have like a line going up. And then you just adjust it, fix it. So we have 6 double crochets on one side and 6 on the other. I'm going to come back in on the same space that we brought it to the back and do a single and chain 2. That would be my double crochet. So I'm going to come back into the same space. We're doing increases of 2 double crochet per space. Next space, 2 double crochet. Next space, 2 double crochet. So now we have a total of 2, 4, 6 double crochets. Remembering that when we closed in, we pretty much started working on the 4th double crochet. Okay, so 2, 4, 6. Actually, the 3rd double crochet. I don't know why I said. Well, yeah, 4th from the 3 here. I don't know. Sometimes you have those days that are just like, I think, one too many for me. Okay, and one inside of the 3 chain space. Chain 3 again. Come back in, double crochet. Again, on top of the double crochet from the previous row, we're going to do the increase again of 2 double crochets per space. So remembering what we will be doing on this side. So basically will be a repeat on this side also. Because if I keep recording every little detail on each side, on both sides, which is the same, my phone's going to run out of memory, and this phone is not all there sometimes, you know. So 2 double crochets each. This is row 2 and 1 inside of the space. Chain 3 and again 1 inside of the space, and complete the other 3 double crochets by adding the increasing 2 per space. Into that single and 2 chain that we went up. Two on the same space, and then we're going to close it in with a slip stitch. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Let me just confirm on this side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Why do I have 14 on this side? Maybe I overdid a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. 13, no, 13. I don't know why. No, because we have this one here. Okay, let me just check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So I couldn't figure out why I had 13 on one side and 14 on the other, and I just noticed my mistake. So instead of doing the increase, I put 1 only, and this is important. We have to pay attention. Make sure you count it properly. So I missed 1 back here, where we can't be missing any because it will bring us problems in the next rows. And usually I don't add it when I make mistakes because it shows you, me too, I make mistakes, and we can just go back and fix it. So back into that 1 chain in the center, 3 chain, not 1 chain, the double crochet, 3 chain, 1 double crochet, and then do the rest of the adding. Now we should be able to be 14 on each side, or 13. I'll recount that again, just to make sure that we do have it all in place. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we're good to go. So now we're going to come from behind, not on the single and 2 chain that we did, but the one right behind it, and we're going to bring this to the back. We don't want the line showing as we're going up. Okay, so now we're going to come into the same space, create a single. This is row 3, and in the same space another double crochet. So now we have 2 double crochets, chain 2. We're going to skip 1 2 space, so double crochet and 1 on the same space again. So we're going to skip these 2, so chain 2. We're going to come into the center of the 3 chain and do 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 2 more double crochet. Chain 2. We're going to skip the first 2 here and come into the third one and do 2 double crochet. And again, chain 2, skip 2 into the next one or the third one and 2 double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2 into the next one and 2 double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2 into the next one and 2 double crochet. Chain 2 into the center, create your 2 double crochets, chain 3, come back into the center and 2 more double crochet. Chain 2, skip the first 2, chain 2, skip 1 2 and into the next one and create your 2 double crochets on the same space, chain 2, and I'm going to close it in with slip stitch on my second chain because we did a single and 2 chains going up. So just straighten it out so they can have that oval sort of. Okay, so you're going to have, before the corner, you have 1 2 3 4 groups, 1 2 3 4 groups on the other side. Going into row 4, I'm going to come back in where we closed in with a slip stitch, do a single, chain 2. We're going to start to increase on this second double crochet. We're going to add 2 together, chain 2 into the next one, double crochet and 2 together, chain 2. We are at the edge here. So at the edge, we're going to do the double crochet over double crochet and 2 in the center. So we'll have a total of 4 double crochets. Chain 3. It's always a chain 3 here on the edges of the pattern. 2 double crochet, exactly the same thing. And again, 1 per space. Now chain 2, 1 double crochet, 2 together, chain 2, 1 double crochet, 2 together. It's going to repeat the same thing as we did here on this side and continue until we meet here. Again, to close in with a slip stitch. So it's just a repeat exactly what we just finished doing. When you get to this edge, you have to do the same thing. So you'll have 4 and chain 3 on the center. 1 2 3 4, row 4. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, going into row 5, So I'm going to come in. So I've closed in with the slip stitch, come in with a single after my slip stitch, 2 chain, that would equal my double crochet, and then I next space we're still doing increases, so on the last one 2 together. So this row will have 4 double crochets. It's about 8 rows like this with the increase. Now if you want to go bigger, you can. Just make sure that you stop at even numbers so everything else can fall into place. And I'm making a mistake because when I'm yapping, I can't concentrate. 2 chain. It takes, I guess, some time to get used to recording and talking and concentrating. Okay, so 2 chain, double crochet, 2 together, 2 chain. Now on this row here and the next rows at the edges, we're going to skip the first one and work on the second double crochet. On the next row, we won't skip it, we'll work right on top of it. And then the next one we skip again, then the next one we don't skip again, but only at the edge. Okay, so double crochet, and we're going to add 2 together inside of the 3 chain space. So we have 2, 4, 5 double crochets, chain 3. Again, 2 double crochet, and it will be the same thing on the other side. 1 per space, and we don't do the last double crochet. We'll have 5 double crochets also on this side, and of course we have to do the same thing. Skip the first one and then do double crochet with double crochet, which is 3, and then 2 inside, exactly like we did here. Chain 2, and then do again your increase on the last double crochet, 2 together. So we'll have 4 double crochet. Okay, just like that. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've closed in with a slip stitch, did all my increases on the last double crochet. We skip the first one here, do our 5 double crochets. That means 2 on the center, 3 chain, continue and skip the last one. So once we've done the slip stitch, come back on the same one, do your single and your 2 chain. Next space, we're still doing the increases. We'll be doing the increases until row 8. So 2 together on the last one. So basically we started with 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8 until the last one, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We'll have 9 double crochets on the after we've done these 8 rows. Chain 2 and continue to do your 5 double crochets again. 2 together on the last one, that's our increase. Chain 2. Now because like here you see we didn't skip, so we'll have 2 rows, that's one on top of the other. This one we skipped on here. Now this one we don't skip, so we're just doing double crochet over double crochet. And then 2 double crochets in the 3 chain center. And we're going to repeat this same process on this side. Chain 3, 2 double crochet in the center, 1 per space, and we go all the way to the last one. So the next row we have to skip the first one again, and we don't do the last one. So let's just continue to repeat exactly what we just did here. and here, and I'll meet you at the end. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row 6. And here it is. So going into row 7, again, coming in with a single after you've closed in with a slip stitch, 2 chain, 1 per space, increase in the last one, 2 together. 2, 4, 6. Chain 2 and repeat the same thing on this one also. So I've done my 2, 4, 6 double crochets, 2 chain. Now this one we're going to skip. So like I mentioned, there's 2 rows. It's one on top of the other. We skip one. And then these 2 on top of each other, we skip again. So next row, we don't skip. So altogether, starting from the start, it's 10 rows before we change the pattern. Like I said, if you want to go bigger, then you would just continue and then stop at even number. So in this case, because I'll have 10 rows, that's including with the first 2 here. So it's 8 of these plus these 2 is 10. So it's just a repeat now until row 10. Okay, and then after row 10, we're going to change it up again a bit. So continue yours, I'll continue mine. There's nothing to it, it's just a continuation. All you have to remember is the next one you have to do on top because we just skipped now. Okay, and then the next one, we skip the first and skip the last. Okay, so very simple, like we have here. So we started with a 2, we did on top, we skipped. We did on top, we skipped. We're going to do on top, okay? So I'll meet you at the end of row 10. And then increase on the last 2, 2 chain between. Don't forget, it's 3 chain there, right? So very simple, nothing to it. Chain 3, and then 2 inside of the same space again. And then 1 per space. And we don't do the last one. The same thing as we skip the first one, okay? So I'll meet you at the end of row 10. Okay, everyone, so I finished doing row 10. That's counting right from the first one here. We have 9 double crochets on these groups, and we have 13 on each side of the edges. Okay, so now we're going to change up a bit. We will be doing an increase on here, but on the 5th double crochet and not at the end. This row 11 will be all about double crochet. So I'm going to come back in after my slip stitch and doing 1 per space. So I have my 2nd double crochet, my 3rd, my 4th, and on my 5th one, I'm adding the increase 2 together on the same space, okay? So 1 per space, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th, 2 together. And then again, 1 per space. In the space of the 2 chain, we are going to do 2 double crochets. And repeat the process again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one we have our increase. 5 and 1 more on the same space, and then 1 per space again. Okay, so I'll meet you after we do the 2 double crochets there. So I've done my 2 double crochets and now 1 per space. So this stays the same. We're just doing double crochet over double crochet. And in the center here of the 3 chain, we're doing the same thing. 2 together in the same space, 3 chain and 2 more in the same space. But I'll meet you here at the edge just to make sure. So 1 per space. So I've reached my 3 chain here, doing 2 inside, chain 3, 2 more inside, and then 1 per space again. So we're just going to repeat exactly what we just finished doing. So inside of the 2 chain, we're going to do 2 double crochet and then 1 per space. On the 5th one, we're going to add 2 together exactly like we did on this side, and just repeat the same thing as we've done on here. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I pretty much finished my row 11. I've closed in with the slip stitch. I'm going to come on the next one and pull my thread to the back, just because I don't want that line to show up too much on the pattern. And then I'm going to come in the next one and I'm going to do a single. So basically it's on the 3rd from the edge here. Okay, so we close in with slip stitch, grab it into the back, and on the 3rd one we do a single, chain 2, next space double crochet, chain 2. We're going to skip 1 space and come into the next one. There's going to be a little bit of changes on this row, so you have to pay attention. So for now we're skipping only 1, but it's going to come to the edge. We're going to be skipping 2 times, so you have to be careful. Skip 1, double crochet, next space, double crochet, chain 2, skip 1 into the next space, and then double crochet, chain 2, skip 1 space, create your 2 groups of double crochet, 1 per space. Okay, we're going to continue to do that by skipping only 1 until we get here to the first one where we have the edge. Okay, and then I'll meet you right here, because nothing now, it just stays the same. Okay, and then I'll tell you how many groups I have. Don't forget, you could always look ahead of the video to see what is happening here with the pattern and to make sure that you're on the right step with it. Okay everyone, so I pretty much did my second one right at the edge. That's where it falls by skipping only 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of 2 double crochet by skipping only 1. Now we'll be skipping by 2s. Okay, so chain 2, we're going to skip 1, 2 on the 3rd space. We're doing double crochet, next space, double crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 on the next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 on the next space, double crochet, and again double crochet. That means you're supposed to have 2 left at the end that we're going to skip. So we have 1, actually it's 3 groups, and if you want to count this one, 4 skipping the 2. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 spaces that we skipped the 2, if you want to look at it that way too. And now chain 2, we are going to go inside of the first chain here with 1 double crochet, next space, double crochet. This time we're doing chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the same space, double crochet, and into my very last space, double crochet. So we still have the groups, but this time in the chains and with a 5 chain space. Chain 2, we're going to skip 1, 2. We have to repeat the same thing on this side. So we're skipping those 2 and creating. So we'll have the 3 groups here the same way, or here I should say, the same way as we have here by skipping by 2s. Chain 2, skip 1, 2, and into the next one. and again. Chain 2, skip 1, 2 into the next one. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Because we still have those 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, skip 1, 2, and we're right at the edge here. Exactly the same way as we have here. One is right on the chain and the second one is right on the edge. So we have the same thing, one on the edge and one right on the chain here, right? Now we have to continue to proceed the same way as we have here. The rest is skipped only once, again, until we get to this one here, exactly what we did on this one here, right? So very simple. Now it's only skipping by two chain and skip 1 into the next one and create your groups again. Chain 2, skip 1 into the next one. And we're going to continue until we get to this one here, which is the beginning of the other edge. So you're supposed to end up with the 2 double crochets here, one here and one here. Okay, so remembering that we are going to skip 1 and we're going to fall right into the one that's right into the chain, and then again chain 2 and then skip 1, 2, come into your third one. Now in case you're missing one or you made a mistake somewhere, just put 2 together and just skip it, 1, 2 on your third one. Okay, so no biggie. So we're going to have the same amount of space here as we did on the other side. Chain 2 and then skip the last 2, come inside of the first chain, do your double crochet, next space, double crochet, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the same space double crochet, and then on the very last chain double crochet, and then chain 2, skip the first 2, come into the next one, and then it's just a repeat again until you come to the end. So now we have to skip. We're going to end up over here again, one here and one here, and then skip by 1 only. Okay, exactly like we did on the other side. Chain 2, skip 2 into the next one. Chain 2, skip 2 into the next one. So we'll have those 4 spaces again. 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and here we are. We ended up at the edge, the same thing as we did on the other side. Chain 2, now we skip 1, and we continue to skip only 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 spaces here that we skip 2, and then everything else is 1. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much finished doing all my groups. Now, counting from the one here where we have the edge of the 5 chain, from this one here to the other one, you're supposed to have 26 groups on both sides, the same thing. So 26 on this side and 26 on that side. In case you made a mistake and you have 25, just go back a few spaces, put 2 together on the same space, skip 1, and create your 26 groups or your 24 groups. It has to be even number. Okay, so going into row 13, we're going to do the walk. I call it the walk with the slip stitch. Of course, my stitch is always so tight. into the center of that 2 chain with a single and 2 chain. So now we have a double crochet and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain for space. So I'm coming back in, I'm creating a V inside of this space. Okay, but before we go any further, just to make sure, I'm just going to do one more here. Into the next space, no chain space between them, we're going to create a double crochet and 1 chain and a double crochet. So we'll be creating these V's, 1 of 4 chain, 1 of 1 chain, 1 of 4 chain, 1 of 1 chain, 1 of 4 chain, all the way around the same way, except when we get to here, I will come and show you exactly what we're going to do at the edge here. It will be a little bit different. I'm just going to grab my black thread just so it can stand out the pattern. So you'll see as I'm going to do that little pink edge around. It's optional for you. Okay, I didn't find my black, but I did find my dark blue, which is fine because these are just samples anyway. So I'm going to do a slip stitch knot, and I'm going to come in anywhere for that matter. It doesn't matter where you start off. Let's say I'll start off here. So you want to grab your thread from the back after you do your slip stitch knot. Now we don't want to have a huge loosage there. So I've grabbed my thread from the back. Now I'm just going to go in each space here, and you don't want to make that tight, because if you do, it's going to pull on your pattern. So make sure that if you have a tight tension, use like a 2 or 3 size bigger hook for this. Okay, we don't want to pull on the pattern, so you really have to give it loosage. And this is just in between the rows there. Okay, so simple before we go any further, because then it will be harder for you to do this if you have too much length here to get a grip on the thread here. Okay, so just 1 per space, slip stitch, that's all it is, nothing to it, and give it a good loosage because it will pull on the pattern quite a bit. We don't want that. So if you have to use a 2, 3 size bigger hook, go ahead to give it that loosage. And we're going to do this all the way. I'll meet you here at the corner because here we'll have to go inside of the chain of the stitch there. Okay, so just continue that and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I've reached the edge. Now on the edge, we're just going to go where we did our double crochets, right inside of that chain, into the next one, into the next one, and then right into the double crochet again. So very simple, and we'll do the same thing on the other side also. Make sure you don't get your threads twisted up below. Separate the combs, one to one side, one to the other, because you can get wrapped up in the back here. Okay, so and then once you get to the end, you just tie in loose ends. I'll show you once I get there. So I've reached the end. I'm going to come back in where I started. And then I'm going to grab a smaller hook. I'm going to turn my pattern to the back. And I'm going to come in the next one and pull this thread to the back. Cut my thread. Pull inside. So sort of like make a knot. And then just come in through some of the blue back here and just tuck in a couple of times your thread so it doesn't come apart, right? You want to have it nicely tucked in. You want to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. Then you do the same on this side to the one that you started to work with. Now I'm just gonna cut it because I'm taking it all down afterwards. This is just a sample, but there it is. Okay, and then you'd continue on with, just get rid of the blue. Okay, so back to our V. So we did the double crochet, one chain and one double crochet. Next space, double crochet, chain 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, creating that V again. Next space, double crochet, one chain and double crochet. So we're going to alternate that way. V, one chain, V, one chain, and then I'll meet you here at the edge. So just on the last one is the V. We're going to come inside of the 5 chain, do one double crochet, one chain, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain, come back in, 2 double crochets, 1 chain. Is just repeating exactly what we've done here. Coming into the next space, creating our V again. So double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, come back in and create your double crochet. So now we have our V's here, and then do your double crochet, 1 chain and double crochet. So it's just a repeat now all the way around. When you get to the other edge, you have to do the same thing right after your V on your last space there. Okay, so I've reached the end. We've started with a single and 2 chains. I'm going to come in my second chain with the slip stitch. Now I'm going to come inside my V's and we're going to work 7 double crochets. So single, 2 chain, actually 8 double crochets, sorry. That's with my single and 2 chains. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. On the space that we have 1 chain, that little V, a 1 chain, we're doing a single. Coming again, creating our 8 double crochets inside of the V again. So basically this whole row will be like this. When we get to the edges, instead of 8, will be 9 double crochets. So nothing to it, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Single on our small V, and then proceed again. So I'll meet you at the edge just to show you how we're going to work that. So I'm just getting to the edge. Now where we did that 1 double crochet and 1 chain, we're going to come in with a single. And inside of this 5 chain, we're going to create 9 double crochets. So that's the only thing that's different in this row. And we're almost done. We have 2 more rows left, which the second row of the 2, the last one is picots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to come back in. Whoops, not there. Where we have our 1 chain with a single into the V and start creating your 8 double crochets again. So very simple, nothing to it. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've reached the end, closed in with a slip stitch. Now we're going to do the walk until the 3rd double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do 1, 2, actually, let me go back again. So we're on our 3rd. We're going to come back in with a single, 2 chain, and 1 for space. Next space, double crochet, 1 chain, next space, double crochet, 1 chain, next space, double crochet, 1 chain, and last, not last, but before last space, double crochet. So we have 5 double crochets. We skipped the first 2 and we start on the 3rd, and we'll have only to skip 1 left, and it has to work only this way in order for it to fall properly into place. Don't ask me how that works out, but it does. As long as it works out, I don't care. So skip 1, 2, come into the 3rd one, double crochet, 1 chain, next space, double crochet, 1 chain. Sometimes patterns are a little bit strange how they work out that way, but that's how it goes. So again, another 5 double crochets starting on the 3rd double crochet from the previous row, 1 chain space, and we don't do the last one. Skip the 1st, the 2nd, come into the 3rd. We're going to continue like that all the way to the edge. Okay, the edge will be a little bit different. So I'll meet you at the edge. Just continue to do your 5 double crochets and I'll meet you at the edge. So we're at the edge. Now this time we're only going to skip 1. We're going to come into the 2nd one with double crochet, 1 chain into the next one, double crochet, 1 chain into the next one. So far we have 3. Next one, 4. 1 chain. We're coming back into the same one as we have the 4. 1 chain into the next one, 1 chain into the next one, 1 chain, and into the next one. So we're not doing the first double crochet and we're not doing the last. So we have 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. These are the middle, the 2 together. 1, 2, 3 on the other side. Again, skip 1, 2 into the 3rd one and proceed the same way as we just finished doing on the other side with the 5 double crochets and 1 chain space in between them, not doing the last double crochet. Okay, so we have our 5 again. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've pretty much closed in with a slip stitch. I'm going to come into my space. This is the last row. So I'm going to do 2 singles, next space, 2 singles. I'm going to do 3 chain and picot. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain this time, coming into the first one that we closed in with a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3 chain, coming in again, and a single. I'm going to come into the next space and create my 2 singles and 2 singles again. So I have my 3 picots with 3 chain, well, the 2 side ones and the middle one with 4 chain. Coming again on my next space, 2 singles, next space, 2 singles, again 1, 2, and 3. Coming in, single, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Coming into the first one with slip stitch because I want it to be closed in. That's why I'm doing slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, chain again. Coming into the first one, single. Coming into the next space, 1, 2, singles. Next space, 2 singles. Okay, so we're just going to repeat that, and I'll meet you at the edge. So we're getting into the edge. So basically, you know where we have the 2 double crochets together. That's where we'll do the picot. So 2 singles per space. And then we have these 2 double crochets, so we'll do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then single to close off, and then continue again, 2 per space. And we're going to do this all the way around, and then I'll come back and meet you, and we're going to do the last slip stitch again through the motifs here. Okay? Okay, everyone, so we pretty much finished doing the edges, as you can see here. I'm going to come back with my blue, and we're going to do the same thing as we did on here. So I'm going to do it. You can start anywhere. So where we have the 8 double crochets, we're going to grab the thread from the back, bring it to the front again. And we're going to do 1 per space. Now make sure that your tension is not too tight. If you have to take 2 3-size bigger hook, then you're good to go. So 1 per space, nothing to it, just like that. All the way around, and same thing, getting into the edge. I can get, that's why we can't have too much of a long space here, or else we can't really get a good grip on it. So just slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch, and go all the way around. And getting to the final edges, which is on here, is no different. So you would just continue and do it and go all the way around. And it will look beautifully once it's done. So pretty much we are done with this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have a little video and pictures and display at the end. Thank you to every single one of you. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. And be part of this journey with us. I send you much love, much hugs. Thank you so much to every single one of you, and for the people that have donated to the channel, either through the super thanks or the super chat, or through my PayPal account, which is in the description box. I send you much hugs. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care.